Barcelona is in full-on chaos mode ahead of the La Liga opener. From Iñigo Martínez's shock exit to Saudi Arabia, Ferran Torres rejecting a huge Middle East offer, and Marcus Rashford preparing for a historic La Liga match in Miami, the drama is non-stop. Adding Como's push to sign Iñaki Peña, Hansi Flick's bold goalkeeper shake-up with Joan Garcia, and Joan Laporta promising an intense week of transfer activity to fix registration issues. It's a storm at the Camp Nou you don't want to miss. Barcelona president Joan Laporta has provided an insight into the reasoning behind the club's decision to allow Iñigo Martínez to depart. The name of defender Iñigo of course dominated the headlines in Catalonia's capital late this past week. As much comes after word was forthcoming that, somewhat out of the blue, the 34-year-old was on the verge of bringing a close to the Barcelona chapter of his career. In the face of a big money offer from Saudi Arabia, Iñigo made the call to move on for one final payday. Barcelona, for their part, did not stand in the way of the stopper's exit, opening the door for as much courtesy of a contract termination. This decision came as something of a surprise, with Iñigo having played a leading role in Hansi Flick's 11 last season. Speaking to the media on the back of Sunday's Joan Gamper Trophy match, the subject of this call was in turn put to the aforementioned Joan Laporta. And Barca's president went on to explain. I guess Iñigo Martínez would have liked to stay for another season, but he's 34 and the opportunity he got doesn't come often, only once in a career. Iñigo signed for us on a free transfer, and we had previously discussed with him that if a situation like this arose, saving his salary would help us with the financial fair play rules. Therefore, I wish him the best of luck. A leading member of the attacking ranks at La Liga giants Barcelona has rejected a lucrative proposal to take his talents to the Saudi Pro League. That's according to journalist Santiago Valle, speaking on SER's Chua T. Jugs, who points towards Ferran Torres as the subject of the offer in question. The subject of Saudi bids has of course taken its place center stage in the chatter surrounding Barcelona over recent days. This comes after the Blaugrana were forced to bid farewell to a key member of the club's backline, upon Iñigo Martínez agreeing to the terms of a contract with Al Nassr. And as alluded to above, if the latest word stemming from the media on Monday is anything to go by, then Iñigo is not the only member of Hansi Flick's squad to have been the subject of a big money proposal from the Middle East over recent days. As per the aforementioned Santiago Valle, so too was Barca frontman Ferran Torres. Unlike his now former teammate however, Ferran, fresh off the most productive season of his career to date, was quick to knock the interest back. Major Barcelona statement released as Marcus Rashford could make history this season. Marcus Rashford joining Barcelona from Manchester United on a season-long loan this summer transfer window now coincides with an unprecedented move from La Liga. Barcelona appear closer than ever to playing a La Liga match in the United States after receiving approval from the Spanish Football Federation. They and Villarreal have requested that their game later this year take place in Miami rather than at Estadio de la Ceramica. Should that happen, it will be the first time one of Europe's Big Five leagues holds a match outside their borders. Marcus Rashford would also have the chance to be involved in that historic occasion after joining the Catalan club on loan from Manchester United this summer transfer window. FIFA, however, must authorize the move first. The Royal Spanish Football Federation released a statement on Monday that reads, after receiving and checking the documentation received, and after the approval of the board of directors, the RFEF will submit to UEFA the request to begin the procedures for the subsequent authorization by FIFA for the match to be played at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami on December 20, 2025, in accordance with the FIFA International Match Regulations and the implementing rules approved by the RFEF. Richard Masters, chief executive of the Premier League, stated last April that they had no plans to move matches abroad, but acknowledged that FIFA's review of the rules left the door ajar for other leagues to do so. FIFA initially announced that amendments to its authorization rules for overseas matches were under consideration as part of a settlement with Relevant Sports during a U.S. court case in April last year. The following month, FIFA established a working group to consider a revised legal framework governing the authorization of overseas matches. Fan organizations linked to Barcelona and Villarreal published a statement on social media with the Spanish Football Supporters Association, FASF. They declared their desire to express our absolute, total and firm opposition to staging the fixture abroad. FASF called upon the Spanish Football Federation and the National Sports Council, CSD, to stop this madness. The supporters groups concluded their statement by cautioning that, should the proposal proceed, they would take appropriate legal action to prevent it. La Liga giants Barcelona were on Sunday the recipients of a transfer request by way of Serie A outfit Como. That's according to Football Italia, who have today provided an insight into the situation. Barcelona and Como of course locked horns yesterday evening, in the annual edition of the Joan Gamper Trophy match. When all was said and done, it was the former who emerged on the right side of the result, dominating en route to a 5-0 triumph. Their side's heavy defeat, though, did not discourage the Como brass from sitting down with their Barca counterparts to launch a transfer offensive. This comes amid confirmation that Cesc Fabregas' side are now actively pushing for the signature of Blaugrana goalkeeper Iñaki Peña. Shotstopper Peña is for his part widely expected to be on the move before the summer is out, having continued to tumble down the pecking order between the posts and Hansi Flick squad following the recent arrival of Joan Garcia. And as per the aforementioned Football Italia, Como lodged a formal request for Barcelona goalkeeper Iñaki Peña after the friendly match between the two sides in the Joan Gamper Trophy on Sunday evening. Barcelona head coach Hansi Flick has provided an insight into the reasoning behind the club's call to sign Joan Garcia, despite the ongoing presence of Marc-André ter Stegen. The goalkeeper situation in Catalonia's capital has of course dominated the headlines across the summer to date. This comes after those behind the scenes at the Camp Nou opted for a major shakeup. After bringing in Wojciech Szczesny amid an emergency between the posts last season, Barcelona since reinforced yet further by way of activating the aforementioned Jones release clause. As much as seen club captain ter Stegen bumped down to third choice in the pecking order in Hansi Flick's squad. Speaking to the media in the aftermath of his side's victory over Como on Sunday, the subject of Jones' arrival in turn was put to Barcelona's headmaster himself. And Flick went on to point towards the summer arrival's youth as key, explaining, "Ter Stegen is a great goalkeeper, but we had the opportunity to sign Joan Garcia for the future." Barcelona president Joan Laporta has promised an intense week ahead of their La Liga opener, as they work to ensure their new players are registered in time for their trip to face RCD Mallorca. Over the previous 3 summers, players have missed games due to registration issues. As things stand, Barcelona will be without €25 million signing Joan Garcia and Manchester United loanee Marcus Rashford. Youngster Rooney Bargi could be registered with Barça Athletic for ease. This week will be intense because everything is ready to conclude certain operations that would give us the fair play we need to register players, he told TV3 as quoted by Sport. Laporta confident on Joan Garcia registration. After Marc-André ter Stegen announced he would give consent to send his medical report to La Liga, potentially allowing Barcelona to activate the injury rule, Laporta was confident Garcia would be available for Hansi Flick on Saturday. "We're working to make it happen. With Marc's decision we have the option to register Joan Garcia, and we're working on the rest. This week we'll have news, hopefully good, to see if we can register them before the league starts. And if we can't, we have time." If Barcelona can activate the injury rule, it would allow Barcelona to use 50% or more of ter Stegen's salary limit impact to register Garcia. Progress of Camp Nou work. Meanwhile, there are also doubts about the progress of their renovations at Camp Nou. With the stadium facing serious delays, they are now in danger of missing the latest deadline they have set, the 14th of September for their first Liga home match. The stadium is progressing, it's beautiful, you can see how it's being built more and more. Now we have the second tier and the third is being built. We're working with the access points to comply with the requirements set by the City Council. We're working hand in hand with the City Council. This is very important because, after all, it's the City Council that issues the first occupancy permit. What deals is Joan Laporta referring to? It has been reported previously that Barcelona are working to ensure their €100 million VIP seats lease could be included in their accounts this week, which would be a major boost to their salary limit calculations. Other deals could include exits for players with Hector Fort, Oriol Romeu and Iñaki Peña all potentially on their way out. Barcelona's summer has been nothing short of explosive. Key players leaving, major signings still waiting to be registered, and historic changes brewing both on and off the pitch. With Hansi Flick reshaping the squad, Laporta racing against the clock, and the Camp Nou rebuild facing delays, the next few days could define the entire season. Will Barca pull it all together before Mallorca? Stay tuned because the next update could be massive.